Mr. Afegbua, what do you make of these key features? Are they exhaustive enough to decide who the next president is? Do you agree with the former president?
Well, thank you very much. If you look critically, I actually don't want to be in a position to critique a Peter Obi on the basis of the TVCP, which Obasanjo has raised, because there are quite a number of unanswered questions with respect to his governance of Anambra State when he was there. But just to make the point that, just like Johnson said, Obasanjo is enjoying the noise out there. Oftentimes when there is some quiet in the polity, you see him throwing punches, just to make sure that they generate some level of attention. And that is what he has succeeded in doing with this letter. But essentially, if you look at the antecedents of a Tinubu, I will be fooling myself if I would think that an Obasanjo will support a Tinubu who fought him head-on politically while he was president and Tinubu was governor to ensure that Lagos remained unbowed. Because at some point, almost all the states of the Southwest were conquered. That is the word of Obasanjo, were conquered by Obasanjo in his second term. And so, only Lagos was standing. And from that Lagos point of view, Tinubu was able to still, build his inroad into other states. That today you have about 5 states of the APC in the Southwest, aside from Oyo State, which is PDP. So, and Obasanjo, given his character and nature, would always not want people to stand to look at him eyeball to eyeball. And I'm telling you from the point of view of my understanding of his political leadership, my understanding of his person, because I have related quite closely with quite a number of persons who worked with him, and we know how he acts. So when you see this kind of scenario, and you are thinking that Obasanjo will support the Tinubu, you'll just be fooling yourself. Because if Tinubu did not stand up to challenge, Obasanjo at that time, Lagos will have gone the way of PDP. Because if you see the manipulation and all of that, in that 2007, it was heavy. And so, that Tinubu is still able to sustain leadership of Lagos under APC, ACN, as it was then, up till now. You must give the guy some level of credit that he is politically savvy and understands what it takes to sustain structure, to build structure and sustain structure. So in terms of track record, he's also got very good showing when you look at his performance, and even his rolling plan for the entire Lagos State in the last 22 to 23 years. So,
please hold that thought, Mr. Afegbua. Hold it. Let's hear from Matthew from Lagos. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning, Mr. Femi.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, nice. My name is Martin, as I just said. Based on what you people are discussing, I like the way you bring it up. Like what I said. Please, in front of this, what is happening, you should help us tell our elder statesman, Obasanjo, he should not be doing like this. Everybody will come to him. He should go and learn from Ibrahim Babangida, where Babangida is. Everybody is going to him. He too should know that even if a goat wanted to contest the presidency in this country, the goat will surely come to him. He should not be saying that I endorse this, I endorse that. If a person is there to correct anybody that misbehaves, he's not there to be eating everything up in this country. He's there to correct every abnormality. Whenever they get to presidency, he's always at Abuja doing meeting with them. He can correct everything, not for him to be saying this, to be saying that I support this, I support that. He should be a neutral man. He's another state man. He should be a neutral man, for God's sake.
Thank you, Matthew, for your contribution. Mr. Afegbua, you possibly can't tell an octogenarian to shut up. I mean, He has the right to.
No, I'm not. You know why they call people octogenarians is because they have gone through the circle and they have acquired wisdom that are uncommon. And that kind of wisdom is expected to help guide the younger generation and those around them and their associates on how to move nations forward. Of course, you had an opportunity to preside over this country. He has his pluses, he has his minuses. So if we were that perfect, you would have been able to take Nigeria to an El Dorado. So what I'm saying in essence is that, you see, I am particular about how much of attention people should give to the campaigns. I don't want this letter to be a distraction to my preferred candidate. I want the Tinubu people, the Tinubu camp to be focused, to be energetically nuanced, to ensure that they are able to go around the country and sell the manifesto to the people. Obasanjo on election day will be in Ota. He probably may not even go to vote. He probably may vote, but all of us were entitled to our votes.
All right.
And in the final analysis, what makes you a winner or a victor is the number of votes you are able to garner as a candidate.
Indeed. So we're running out of time now, Mr. Afegbua, and I need to also quickly hear from Dr. Johnson. Ahmed has called in from Zunguru in Zamfara. Good morning, Ahmed.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead with your contribution.
From Dr. Johnson.
All right. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Hello, morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Based on the letter written by the former president, Mr. Olusegun Obasanjo, as a leader, as a former leader, is not supposed to come outrightly and challenge other political parties. He has to stay as a guideline. So that.
All right. I'm afraid we can't go ahead with that conversation. Please turn down the volume of your TV next time you're calling in. So we've gotten an endorsement on the first day of the year. Are you expecting more to come, particularly when you consider the fact that Governor Wike says he will make known his preferred candidate in January?
Well, that will come in no time with respect to Wike's endorsement. That's another issue entirely, whichever way the outcome. The greatest loser of this process, you can mark my word on that, of this process, of this political cycle will be Wike. After May 29, he will be of no relevance with the way he has conducted himself and with respect to how he's been playing his politics. And if you look at it, the antecedent to that fact. But that's another issue for that. You see, in a society whereby traditional rulers are openly supporting candidates, we like begging the issue. And people like to do what we used to do in Southwest politics in the 60s. Shorinumi, Shorowo mi orinumi. You see my hand, you don't know what's going on in my mind. We need leaders to come out to be forthright. Let them state their point, not playing on the intelligence.
By stating their point, you mean support a candidate?
Support a candidate if you want to support a candidate. Don't support a candidate if you don't want to support a candidate. You don't have more than one vote. And if the letter is of no significance, and if Obasanjo is of no significance, why are we discussing the issue? In actual sense, the prominence that has been given to the letter is as a result of the reactions of people that have said Obasanjo is of no significance.
More than the details of the letter itself. Just hold that thought a minute.
Well, thank you very much. I was waiting for your last caller to conclude so that I will know how to respond to him. But unfortunately, you lost him. But the point must be made that just what Johnson was making a point, that if the letter was not important, why is it being discussed? You can also discuss the nuisance value of the letter. So the fact that Obasanjo, being a former head of state, writing a letter calls for attention. So that's the point. But what position you take in your analysis now depends on your understanding of the issues and whether they will have any meaningful impact in the entire electoral process. But I want to make the final point that nobody should lose sleep about this. He has the right to endorse anybody. But the Tinubu camp will certainly go back to the drawing board and re-energize his campaigns and wait for February 25th and see how much of Obasanjo's letter will speak on that day.
Dr. Johnson, you have just 60 seconds.
Well, rather than adopt a combative approach in their communication campaigns, the people handling candidates and managing the presidency should be strategic. What are the issues that are raised? Address the issue and leave the argument about the personality. There's nothing that anybody can use to change Obasanjo. If you know his antecedent, and if you know his tribe, and if you know his ethnicity, you understand that. He's a woman, and a woman will always give expression to his own opinion. And we need more leaders like that in Nigeria, other than be playing to the gallery, for them to come out in the open. And if you are using Babangida as a yardstick now, after truncating June 12th, then anybody can become a seat in Nigerian politics at any point in
Dr. Jide Johnson, Chief Lecturer, Nigerian Institute of Journalism, thank you for your contribution.
It's a pleasure to be
Kazeem Afegbua, former Information Commissioner, Edo State. Gentlemen, thank you so much for talking to us.
Tell Johnson to invite the presidential spokesman for refresher course at NID.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your contribution. That's our show today. I am Nifebi Ogutoye. We'll be back tomorrow, God willing. Good morning, everyone.